I do think it can be a little bit strange, this game that colleges have us play, of trying to fit our entire character and potential in 650 words. But I've played this game before, so hopefully I can shed some light on the college essay writing process by sharing the 2 essays that I've written that helped me get into 2 Ivy League schools and also 2 joint BSMD medical programs. Beyond just that, also sharing the insights that, in retrospect, I wish I knew when I was starting my college essay, and just what really makes an original and strong college essay. If you're just getting started thinking about what you might want to write your essay about, it can be a really intimidating experience. At least it was for me. I remember entering into my senior year of high school. I didn't know where to even begin. I started reading essays online and watching YouTube videos like this one about what people had written and like seemed to have success with. And with a lot of essays, it just seemed like some sort of avant-garde contest of who could come up with the quirkiest topic to write their college essay about. Like, I've read essays about traffic lights, like ice cream, socks, just random topics, and people would be rewarded for choosing just some random thing to write their college essay about. And to me, it just felt so disingenuous. Like, the only way you'd be able to get an admission officer's attention is by just coming up with some quick and quirky topic, and because just being forthright about your life isn't good enough. So when it came to that, I just felt very discouraged. And then on the other hand, I read a lot of essays where people would talk about their accomplishments and the things they've achieved up until that point of being in high school. And at the time, I did feel quite intimidated. Like, I didn't have any supreme, like, world-renowned talents that some of these kids seem to have. So on one hand, I didn't know, like, where I fit. I didn't know where I fit into this whole thing. I didn't know how to spin up some sort of silly topic to insert myself into. But on the other hand, I didn't feel like just writing honestly and objectively about the things I've done, I didn't feel like that was enough either. I just seriously didn't know where to even start. So if you feel that same way that I did, what I would recommend is taking the time to really introspect. And ask yourself first, what are the best things about you? Really, if someone didn't get the chance to meet you, what are the few things you would really want them to know about you? Is it that you have, like, a really unique sense of humor? Or are you, like, really intense and know how to put in hard work and persevere when you need to? Or is there an interest or a hobby or a talent that you have that you really would say even defines you to a large extent? Really take the time to think about what makes you different. And take the time to give yourself some credit. Because if you don't do it in this essay, no one's ever gonna know these things about you. And just write them down in a list. And when you're writing this list, there's no need to be strategic about it. You shouldn't be thinking about what you're supposed to be writing or what you should have as a strength. You kind of have to really set aside those thoughts for some time. And I mean, I know high school is all about competition and comparison, but for this time, really set aside all the people in your AP Lang class or your AP Calc class or whatever, and really just focus on you. That's what your essay is about, so don't dilute yourself with what you think other people might be writing about. And I know it seems really methodical to boil yourself down to just a few bullet points like this, but I think in retrospect, when it comes to writing an essay like this, you do need to be goal-oriented. While it is a personal essay, you can't take everything so personally, and you can't take everything to heart. Because then if you do, you'll start wondering to yourself, how am I supposed to put down my entire past, present, and future all in 650 words? And here's the thing, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. You're not looking for the greatest, deepest moment of your life to put on paper. You're just looking for a moment that you can use to convey who you are. And what's more than that is that it's not what you choose to write about as much as how you write about it. That's why a lot of essays that seem to be about mundane things can work, because it's not about what you write about, it's how you connect it and demonstrate those things about yourself that make you stand out from other people. So when you're looking at those 3 or so qualities that you want to focus on, think about different stories that act as evidence for those things that you know to be true about yourself, but that you need to convey to someone else who doesn't know you. I'd recommend talking with your family, with any friends or people who know you well, and just having conversations, seeing where those conversations go, because you never know what could be a great idea. You never know what could be a good story to use as your essay. And I think just my final thought for now is really use the essay as an opportunity to build a case for yourself as to why you're unique and why you deserve and should go to the school you want to go to. And I think at the same time, you want to build a case, but you do it in a subtle way. And that's the whole concept of storytelling. That all along you have a goal in mind. You want to show these 3 points or 2 points or one strong point about yourself, but you don't outright tell the person. You tell it through a story, and along the way it's the insights of that story, it's the choices you make in that story, it's the reactions you have, it's the introspection, it's the things you add along the way, the takeaways, that it's not about what you write, it's about who's writing it, and that's you. So I just think, be forgiving with yourself, be open-minded, write down as many ideas as you can, and then later go through and find out what works for you. And I just wish you luck, because it's college admissions is not an easy season for everybody, especially in the middle of an ongoing pandemic. But if you put in the necessary time and energy, and if you're genuine and you don't let other people's stories or essays or expectations dilute your own, then I think that you will write a really strong essay that speaks for itself. So I wrote this essay when applying to Princeton. I didn't get in, but I still kept the essay for other schools I applied to, and I just loved the prompt. It says, "Culture is what presents us with the kinds of valuable things that can fill a life. And insofar as we can recognize the value in those things and make them part of our lives are meaningful." And this is a quote from Gidgen Rosen, the Stewart Professor of Philosophy and Director of the Berman Undergraduate Society of Fellows at Princeton University. So I love that prompt. And this is the essay I wrote in response to it. This is the essay that I included in my application to the University of Pennsylvania, which is where I currently study. I'm a rising junior. So here is my essay. In a dimly lit tableau in Seville, a girl is sitting on a chair. With the opening strums of a flamenco guitar, she rises, striding forward. Light snaps progressively build, speeding with the guitar. In a burst of fury, she hammers out lightning-fast footwork, forcefully, precisely, whipping around her red shawl, a flame in front of my eyes. I'm captivated, worried even, that she will smash through the wooden board floor. She too appears afraid of the passion overtaking her. In a carpet weaving school in Istanbul, a girl is sitting on a bench. Alongside other women, she is quietly pulling strings through a loom. Working from sunrise to sunset, she has been weaving the same carpet for 3 years, and she is only halfway done. Sitting on the benches, the women perform an ancient tradition for which nowadays they are paid. Patiently, enduringly, they weave most of the day, most of the year, producing their beloved craft. I enter the room where the rugs are proudly hung up. I am drawn to vast carpets of iridescent silk, kaleidoscopic visions with colors of dragonflies' wings. 4 million knots total. 7 years of labor. These two sights from family travels remain vivid in my memory. Both are extremely fine acts of labor, tradition, and heart. But I've wondered, which is the right way to live? Is it better to be an anonymous carpet weaver, patiently transforming my years into my masterpiece? Or should I live as a dancing flame instead, a flamenco dancer whose years of training crescendo into the height of a sublime moment? In a home in suburban New Jersey, a girl is sitting at a kitchen table. Listen to the family dialogue. You'll hear English intermixed with Bulgarian. Glimpse inside the refrigerator. You'll find ketchup next to lutenica and pizza next to banica. Every first day of school, my grandma intentionally spills a glass of water from the front door. "May it go upon water," she cries, hugging me as another year begins. This Bulgarian tradition ensures that my success flow as surely and naturally as water. More than a tradition to me, it is the outpouring of my grandma's yearning for my happiness. I am one to seek meaning in traditions because they express visions of life. That is why, between patient carpet weaving and exuberant flamenco dancing, I wondered which was better. But does it even matter? Passion and patience, what are they without each other? Who I am now is a brewing culmination of all moments past, all sights I've seen, all people I've met. I'm inspired by the Sirtaki dancing, life-living Zorba the Greek. I am consoled by the grave, painful dissonances of the Moonlight Sonata. I am enchanted by the unabashed liberation of Nina Simone's music. My love of culture is why I joined an Indian dance team. It is the reason why I learned Spanish, unbeknownst to me that years later I would be standing at the peak of the Temple of the Jaguar in Guatemala. My own culture is a gift given to me from birth, but the countless colors of other cultures expand my world. Us three girls, the Spanish dancer, the Turkish weaver, and my Bulgarian-American self, cannot be so different after all. We simply express our humanity in different ways. I could claim to be weaving together the moments that have inspired me, but I realize that life is my weaver, and I'm an unfinished carpet. Meaning is everywhere, in knots and ties, stomps and snaps, faces and stories, a splash of water. It assumes many characters, from a song in the ear to a meal in the belly, a carpet under my feet to a dance in front of my eyes. Culture has taught me that often life speaks without words. It is up to us to realize what it says.